Broadsword calling Danny Boy.
Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Another Rocknest analysis here, another game of interplanetary I Spy. Now I'm going to keep this one much shorter than the others. I promise you. This will be only 10 or 15 minutes long. This one, so we're going to get this back to the sort of length I was making videos before. The problem is with this image is that there's so much to see here. It's impossible to get it all across in one video. I mean, if I'd have done one video for all this, it would have been 4 hours long or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's so much here. Right, okay, link will be in the description as usual, so you can find and download the image straight away, no problem. Right, okay. Right, now, where do we start? Okay, this is a little bit more simple than the last couple of videos. Another quick look at the water here, or what was water in this riverbed here. This is actually blue sand. Now, I did point this out in one of the previous videos. There's actually what looks like just here. Let's undo that. A dead bird. Now, I did say there are birds on Mars, and I'm convinced there were birds on Mars. Not saying there are now, but there do seem to be a lot of things flying around up there, and then they're not all spaceships and UFOs. Some of them I'm convinced are birds because you see them in flocks, but they're usually tiny little black specks in the sky, way too small to even bother making a video of. At some point somebody's going to get one of these things up close and possibly alive, so we shall see. But there are just a couple of little things in here what I thought I might show you. There's a strange bit of debris here which is kind of like a boomerang shape there. Now this white stuff here, I'm still trying to work out what it is. Some of this may be crash debris, like this long thing here. I'll sharpen that for you. This long thing there could be a piece of debris from an aircraft, who knows, but it may well be salt deposited on the side of here where the water's dried out. But this thing here looks suspiciously straight to me, and it's very luminescent. Now this could be chalk, it could be salt, it could be metallic debris. I couldn't tell you. There's not really enough detail there to work it out, but there do seem to be some strange structures in here, sort of half buried. There could be another boat down here, this thing here. This could be a boat. Let's soften that a little bit. I'll blur it a little tiny bit. Here we go, 0.6. There we go. So I mean, there's another boat shape here. They're all over the place. This looks like a front end of a boat. So this may or may not be, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This may be a bit of wreckage here, don't know. We'll move on. Right, okay. There's other stuff here. There's also what looks like a part of a collapsed building or something here with a strange structure to it. I don't know if you can see that. Brighten this up a bit. Okay, +6. Right, yeah, there's what looks to be part of a straight part of a building, like maybe a roof or some kind of collapsed structure here, and there's some weird stuff going on in here. I'll just sharpen that up for you very quickly. We won't spend too long on this video, like I said. Yeah, I mean, what's this thing here? There's this strange kind of semicircular thing. That looks to me artificial. There's lots of stuff here. Like I said in the other videos, there's so much here you couldn't possibly even contemplate most of the stuff going on here. I found another quite large, what looks like a large boat. Now, in my previous video, right at the end of the video, I went over to the, because in my previous video, I kind of got up to this point here on the horizon, and I'm just covering the last part of this image up here, the last slope of Mount Sharp here, from the Rocknest image. I'm just going to finalise this because I can't really leave these last few things out, so I'm just going to show you them quickly. This is what I found at the very end of the last video, this thing here. Oh, hang on, this, I've got a clip of it. I'll show you it first. It's kind of like an octopus-shaped structure here with a pointed end. Looks like an eye here. It's not an octopus, but it's kind of got a strange point to it, and a symmetrical looking part here with parallel lines coming down here, and there's another part here which I didn't notice before, which is broken off. There's all sorts here. There's another kind of weird boat-shaped thing here. Don't know if it is, but it seems odd, this thing here. I've just taken a clip of these. There's another thing up here which I've already selected and just drawn around so I know what shape it is. I'll show you the raw image of that first, before I show you the clips. It's right up here. Where is it? Here we go. There's that octopus-shaped structure thing here that I was on about first of all. And the other thing is right at the top of the image. Where is he? There he is. Now I don't know if you can make that out, but there's a kind of boat-shaped structure here. You can just about make out the top of it there, and the shine is catching the light there. But you know, it's so hard with these background images. They're so milky and blurred. You've really got to get in dark, grayscale it. Like I've said before, that's the same thing I just showed you. Now I'll show you the clip I've taken of it, the enhanced clip. I've drawn around it and done my usual enhancements on it. I've blurred it up, sharpened it up, brightened it up, darkened it up, all sorts there to just drag some of this out. You can see where I've sharpened it here. Now this may just be a natural structure, but it looks to me like another boat. I mean, it's got a front end here and the back end here. This may be broken off here at the back. There looks like some kind of superstructure. Some of this looks interesting up here. This kind of looks like it might have a few right angles in there, possibly a window here, a dark patch there, see? So who knows, this may or may not be. It's not as good as some of the others I found, but it's even further away. It's right at the top of the image, right at the back, so you're never going to get amazing detail out of that. But I'll stick it at the end of the video so you can have a closer look. There we go. Now this is what I call the octopus-shaped thing. I'm still trying to work out what this actually is. I have come to the conclusion after my last few videos that some of these things have got a sort of biomechanical design. So a lot of the ships and boats and aircraft we're looking at seem to have sort of animal shapes to them. I mean, we do that to a point on Earth. Yeah, we have cars that, you know, like the Beetle and things like that, you know, which are sort of almost biomechanical in design. I mean, this to me looks like the front end of a giant squid or something with an eye, but it can't possibly be because it's kind of snapped off here. And we have parallel lines running down it. I'll get a bit closer. Parallel lines running here. Okay, so, and this is symmetrical here. We have a nice triangular structure part of it here, and a nice pointy bit, pointed nose end of it here. Now, I couldn't tell you what this is. This could be a submarine. It could be a ship. It could be an aircraft that's turned on its back. I really don't know what it is. It's a real puzzle, this one. If any of you've got any ideas, then leave a comment, because I'm a bit stuck on that. But like a lot of the other things I've showed you in the previous couple of videos, some of these ships do look kind of biomechanical. They look like they were inspired by animal designs, like maybe whales or squid or octopuses or octopi or whatever you want to call them. There was a little boat here as well, nothing much to write home about here. This may be a boat, may not be. Some kind of structure. I won't spend too much time on that, because this is just a little thing that down towards the bottom of the image here on this lower ridge. So nothing much to write home about there. But you know, some of these things, like I've shown you before, do look biomechanical in nature. Now this is the huge thing that I hinted on yesterday on the previous video. This is absolutely enormous. Now this may just be a natural structure, but it does show signs of intelligent design. You've got some strange diagonal lines in here. You've got some interesting, you've got this kind of interesting structure here, like a huge kind of cut in the side of this thing, whatever it is. Now it occurred to me that if there's a load of washed up ships and an aircraft and various things on the side of this mountain, then there may well be some dead creatures also, like the bird we just saw a minute ago. Now this to me, now if you look at the front end here, this looks like an eye. This looks like a long jaw, upper jaw section. And this, I mean, I'm just pontificating here, this may not be, this may just be a rock, but when you look at this thing. It looks like a dead whale, a huge dead whale, kind of slumped on the side of this mountain, partly obscured by, I mean, there's an air, if you remember yesterday's video, the last video, there is an aircraft here, and there's another one here. You couldn't tell them that just by looking at this image here, but there are. There's a couple of aircraft here, ships or aircraft, and this was the long thing I was on about that I couldn't get my head around. I still may be way off the mark on this. This thing is so long. This is probably a kilometre long. This thing, because the aircraft in front of it, there's one here, so you can't make out here, is about 200 or 300 meters or something, maybe 150 meters. Don't know exactly. So this is getting on for a kilometre. Don't know. It's about 500 meters, maybe a kilometre, something like that. It's really, really big. It's really hard to get across how big this thing is. But when you look at the image untreated, it's right up here. Now, this is a mile away, roughly, more or less, and this is it. This is the one end, and it goes all the way along here, right up to here, up to this point here. It's such an enormous thing. It may just be a rock, but to me, there's something very suspicious about it. And one thing that is really puzzling me, now if you see this kind of ship or boat structure here that I touched on yesterday, this curve comes down, and look, you can see through. This has got some kind of transparency to it. Whatever this huge long thing is in front of this structure here, this line carries on down, and you can see it. Now there's obviously a line going across here, which is the top of this thing. I'll show you that here. You can see it better. This is really confusing me. I don't know what this is. Now maybe I drawn around it wrong. Maybe this bit comes down or something. I don't know. But whichever way you look at it, this thing behind seems to be visible through this object in front. So this part of the object here may be translucent. It may be glass or some kind of very thin material here. I don't know, and it's really puzzling me. It may just be rock here, and there may just be an image artifact here, or maybe where they stitch the images together, there's an overlap here or something like that. But I don't know. I really can't tell you there what's going on here. This whole back structure here may come down further like this, and this may be a part of that behind. I don't know. But there's something very odd about this whole thing. It looks artificial, especially this bit here. I mean, what is that? Let me sharpen some of this up very quickly for you before I go. Some of the detail here. This is weird. This is so weird, especially this bit. What is it? And there's some nice detail on the back here. And this is where it gets very bright up here. Now this could be a reflection, this dark, almost translucent part here. This could be a reflection or something, I don't know. But there's something very suspicious going on up here, and I think it's been manipulated a bit, or possibly where they've overlapped the images and not joined them very well, I don't know. But this is a very, very strange thing, and maybe some of you might have a better idea what this is. I'll sharpen that up as well. Now look at these straight lines in here. There's a nice straight line there. There's a nice line here. There's lots of weird stuff going on, and this huge kind of gouge out the side of it. What is that? You know, I really don't know. So, answers on the postcard as usual. Stick your comment below. Weird stuff, more and more weirdness from Mount Sharp here. There's that boat again. Let's have a look at that, the possible boat. Not as good as some of the others I've found, like the battleship and the submarine. I'll have to see them in the previous videos. But this one was interesting. I mean, this looks like a biomechanical design. Kind of like a ship that may be designed a bit like a giant squid type shape. And it's broken here, and you can see some quite good detail here. There's a bit sticking up here. Let's sharpen up that a bit more so you can see that up here. There's an odd thing sticking up there, and there's some twisted metal here. That looks like twisted metal to me, where it's broken. So this And there's loads of weird stuff behind it up here, and in front there's another thing here in front of it, like a boat. Who knows? That could just be a rock. So there's loads more stuff here, but I think I've pretty much covered everything. And unless I find something outstandingly good with a propeller on it again, or something like that, like the submarine that I showed in the last couple of vids, then I think I'll call it a day on this part of Mount Sharp, because this is taking a whole week to work on this. There's so much up here. Okay, so I'll put a couple of clips of stuff right at the end of the video, so you can see that. Let's move that out of the way. One more quick look here at those two. Like I said, I'll put close-ups of those in. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bit shorter this one. See you soon.